Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to walk through the programming to set up a basic input using an Arduino. You'll notice that I'm using Tinkercad. Tinkercad.com is a wonderful free resource, so even if you don't own any of this, you can get a free Tinkercad account, jump in there and build your own circuits and follow along. Second thing I'll mention, linked in the description below, is the video that shows you how to build this circuit, or you could just press pause and build it right now. Anyhow, let's talk about what's happening. So we have a single LED. It's just a steady on. If I click the button, it'll blink, and then it goes back to steady on. Take a look down here at the bottom of the program in the serial monitor area, and you can get to this in your own Tinkercad by clicking on serial monitor and it will pop up. It's now delivering a message saying button not pressed. If I click this once, watch it fast, friends, button pressed, and then it goes back to button not pressed. Tinkercad buttons are a little funny. They only register one input and they loop through really quickly. So if you want it to register the input for longer with this type of button, you can either hold it down by clicking on it, a long press, and then let go. Or if you hold down the shift key and click on the button, it's as if you are holding down that button forever, but your thumb or finger don't get so tired. And then a quick single click will release the button. All right, so there's the serial monitor part. Let me hide that so it's not so distracting. Let's talk about the program. So I've set up two variables. One is called red to 13 because that is where my LED is wired. One is button equals 2 because that is the connection for my button to the pin 2. You could call them different things. I like to name variables things that make sense. All right, in the setup function, three things are happening here. Pin mode red output. Remember, that just means whatever this thing called red is, it's an output. But things have changed now. Pin mode button input. That tells the Arduino, hey, you sit there and wait for some kind of input. You wait for a signal that's going to fling itself when this button is pressed down that yellow wire into pin 2. Detail police, I know it's not really flinging it, but I'm in the entertainment and education business, so keep those comments to yourself. All right, and then lastly, I did set up serial monitor just so we can see what's happening when the button is pressed or not pressed. Now we enter the loop itself. Here's our loop. There are two sections to this. There's an if statement and an else statement. Before I get into the guts of those, please notice that the if statement has a sandwich in it using curly braces. There's an open curly brace and a closing curly brace. Those curly braces are sandwiching all of this programming here. The else statement, same deal. Open curly brace, closing curly brace, sandwiching this bit here. What's in the sandwich? Well, right here, whatever's in between those curly braces for the if statement is saying when the button is pressed, do these things. And in this case, what we want it to do, as soon as the button is pressed, the LED is high. Then I want it to send a serial message that says the button is pressed. Then wait 500 milliseconds, also known as half a second. Then turn the LED to low, wait 500 milliseconds or half a second, and then cycle back and do it again. As long as that input is being received, it's just going to loop through this area right here. As soon as it no longer receives a signal from the input to pin 2, then it goes into the else move. And the else is just turn the LED to high, don't blink it, and print in the serial monitor window right here, boom, 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 button not pressed. So you now have control over what happens within a circuit that you program on an Arduino, because when you push that button, right, You can now control when things happen. It's not just letting that light blink endlessly within an endless loop. You now have control. Now, last thing I want to clarify, friends. Let me stop this simulation for a second. Okay, this is not like the light switch that you have in your home. A light switch, wait for the sound effects. When I turn the switch on, click, right? It is a mechanical completion of a circuit. When I turn the switch off, it is mechanically breaking the circuit. That is not what's happening here. This button is not the gatekeeper for whether this light turns on or not. The Arduino is the gatekeeper. And because the Arduino is the gatekeeper, we can do more sophisticated things than just turn a light on or off when a button is pressed. We could set up something called a photoresistor and turn the light on turn the LED on when the light levels in the room get to be below a certain point where it's dark. It automatically turns the light on. Or we could have our input be a motion sensor, and when it detects a certain amount of motion, then it's going to move a servo. Right now, I want you to just enjoy the power you have with an on-off button, but I want you to understand the button, the input, is not the gatekeeper to this circuit. It's the Arduino that is working its magic because of the program that you wrote. You are in control, my friends. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. Put any comments, questions, etc. in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching.